Zooby zooby zoo. Zooby zooby zoo.
Hey everyone, Anthony here. Today I'm going to be reviewing an album. I'm going to be reviewing Nirvana's Bleach. Look at that, Bleach. Back in the late 80s, a little band by the name of Nirvana recorded this album, put it out on Sub Pop. Kind of landmark grunge album. It's what kind of gave them the attention of the major labels. Before this album, they were more of like a small Seattle band, and then after this is kind of when people started to take notice. It wasn't the breakout that Nevermind was, but it still put them on the map. The sound of this album might be surprising to a lot of people my age, like a lot of people who didn't grow up with Nirvana and had to go back to rediscover them. Because a lot of what we associate Nirvana with, like their melody and like sense of humor, things like that, they're kind of missing on this record. This record is super riff heavy, super heavy in general. Like what was going on was that Kurt Cobain was trying to morph the band sound into more of like a classic grunge sound. Like the sound that was going on in the Pacific Northwest at this time. And it's very apparent on this album that they're pushing their sound to maybe something that wasn't even supernatural to them. Supernatural to them, not like supernatural, but super, you get it. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so the riffs, they are heavy, but at the same time, I like heavy riffs as much as the next guy. It's just that, like, the riffs they're meant to pummel you, but the riffs, in actuality, the way they're recorded and the way they come off on the record is that they just kind of pour onto you and glob onto you. And that's because of this, like, the slower pace of the record, and that's also because of the way that the guitars are recorded. It's one guitar the whole way through, as far as I can tell. And I feel like it would have helped this album a lot if there's like a second guitar on this. And it's funny because there's four members, two guitarists on the cover of the album. And so I just wish like Kurt recorded a second track. Because I feel like that would make the guitar sound a little less boring. Because the thing is, this album's not horrible by any means. And there's a couple songs on this that absolutely fucking rip. Like School, whew, and Negative Creep. Oh my goodness. Jesus. Great songs. As a whole though, I feel like Nirvana chasing this metal sound that a lot of bands were doing at this time. A lot of punk bands were chasing this weird metal sound. Like even if you listen to Green Day's like first batch of songs, there's like a lot of palm muting riffs and there's a lot of like pinch harmonics. Luckily, most punk bands grew out of this like trying to be sort of metal vibe, because it wasn't doing anyone favors, especially Nirvana. And like I said, this isn't to say that this is a horrible album, because I mean, even their kind of the lowest parts of this album have something to them. I feel like it's a pretty like dull record, but there's a lot of potential to it. And so because of that, like I said, it's kind of a more dead, dull sound. But the songs themselves, the riffs themselves, there's a lot of potential to it. Especially like the good songs on this album. And that potential finally comes to fruition with In Euro, because that album fucking rips, and they have slow moments and they have heavy moments, but it's recorded in a way that actually is flattering to that sound. This album, it's like amazing origami made out of wet toilet paper. That's what Nirvana was at that time. It was like this sick, like, origami piece made out of wet toilet paper. But like I said, the potential brings it up. The good songs on this album bring it up. So I'm gonna say this album's a 3 out of 5. And listen, I feel like a lot of music fans, they try to talk about how like sick this album is because they don't want to look like a dork for saying that Nevermind's better. Nevermind is better, but they don't want to look like a dork or look lame or anything, and so they're gonna say that their indie label songs are better. And here's the thing, like I said, this is a very self-conscious record. Kurt was trying to make it sound like his peers, and because of that, you get something that's not as inspired and not as recorded as well as it could be. So I say those people are the actual dorks. Well, yeah, that's just me. That's just me talking shit. What do you think, though? Am I a dork for not liking it as much as I should? Sound off in the comments. You're the best.